3 or 4 days since I've recorded anything. Microphone even on? It is. My recording? It is. Oh, jeez. Anyway, I think I say that almost every time I record. Oh, it's been so long, but just wanted to sleep. Been doing other things, including when it comes time to be like quiet recording time. I've just been like, I'd rather go to sleep. So let me actually double check what I'm supposed to be doing. I think I can't. Yeah, I can't do this till I go downtown. And then I have to go to the Surfside Diner. And I have to do Foxy Boxes. Okay. So I'm kind of hesitant to do this, but while I'm at full health, let's go in Foxy Boxes. And actually double check. I do have tons of experience points. Let's get my defense skill up. And then, oh boy. Is there a book for security? Do not recall if there is. Let's leave that alone. I can get dexterity, and then if I find a book for security, I can level that up later. And 5 more points. Can't afford this yet, huh? None of these are super useful against fighting vampires. This has a chance to outright kill humans when you use it in battle. And I'll just get stealth. Maybe I should get a point of brawl. This helps you with if you feed on people in combat. Do I want that though? No, let's leave this alone for now. Anyway, I'm gonna check this like storage building, warehouse. National observation of the city indicate that the Canaanites here are both scattered and unorganized. There are 3 individuals of note, but they seem to be involved in some sort of dispute. That sounds like someone we know. These Canaanites are a curious and fragile race. They waste the gift of their immortality on petty schemings and fleshly gain. We will have little problem making the city our own. Someone's looking and probing for weaknesses among the clans in this city. Very interesting. Seems that my presence here has been noted by one of the Canaanites, Nosferatu, I believe they are called. He's entrusted with the responsibility of my surveillance to a bumbling mortal fool. I've begun to follow this so-called spy, a small, amusing respite from my usual duties. So, a Nosferatu, maybe Bertram Tongue, and he's talking about Nox, his ghoul. 23, 4. As I've drawn the attention of a newcomer, an agent of the prince. I know very little about this individual, but they seem more resourceful than most Canaanites I have observed. I will prepare myself in the event that our paths cross. That's me. He's talking about me. Oh no, but he does say I'm more competent, so... The agent of whom I spoke before discovered the corpse of Virgil Crumb. It's definitely me. An altercation seems imminent. If I do not survive, my last reports state that Santa Monica is ripe for the taking. We will find little resistance if we come here in force. Someone's talking about a hostile takeover, and me. They've been observing us and learning. This would be frightening if I didn't know the other things that were going on in the plot. Let me just actually look around here real quick. There's like nothing, right? Yeah. Laifu, save my Laifu. He bows like Chinese style, just so you know. You may notice he has a crossbow. He will use it. And he has a sword right there that is very powerful. Where'd you go? And he can jump real good. Jump attack will hit them on the ground. Where have you gone? This is a tough fight, as you can see. He does a ton of damage and has the sword. I'm gonna get killed! Ah, there I go. When he blocked that attack, I'm like, oh, I'm done for. That's what happens when you die. Can I just go right back into it? Can. I think I can. Oh. No, I'm out here. It's okay to run around with a knife, apparently. Actually, it auto-saved me there. Maybe it only auto-saves you when you leave an area. Let's blood buff this time. That's going to increase my strength. Bit of wits, which wits is going to be like +1 defense, which doesn't super help. Especially since this guy does aggravated damage with his sword, and I believe with the crossbow too. Which is not soakable by defense. As you can see, I'm doing significantly more damage now. And I beat you this time, and your cool sword remains floating in the air. And I can't pick it up. Bye. Bye, cool sword. You don't get anything else out of that either, which is a shame. I believe you can get... Oh, I got the hiccups now. Get these source ladder mechanics rather. The hotel, the Ocean View Hotel, where you are jumping around the mine shaft that's like poorly scaled to you. Really reminds me of Half-Life 1 when you're in those stupid elevator shaft segments. It's super dangerous because the ladder mechanics are not super great. My health is pretty good. Oh, spoilers. I shouldn't even have mentioned my health. How about if I totally sucker punch these guys right now? Ooh, I actually killed the shotgun guy outright. Oh no, I didn't. He's still alive. Shit. Oh, I didn't mean to throw him away. Meant to actually... I didn't want you to do that again. There, finally. And make sure to drain this guy totally. So he will die. Oh, that sucked. So this again, I had almost no ammo for it.
I'm terribly sorry about that. My sister was just furious about your refusal to take part in her designs, so she sent those men to kill you. But I'm going to make sure it never happens again. Drop by. We'll take care of this tongue business. She's crazy! Help!
So I'm not sure if that means I have gotten the Jeanette or the Therese ending for this. I did hear the police siren, which usually means cops are coming into the area you've been fighting and whatnot in. But it's not supposed to happen normally, because that was like a combat thing. Maybe because I attacked, like, before I was meant to? Don't know. Okay, I want to make sure I have persuasion of 4. Do have it. Should be good. So, supposedly, Jeanette sent those guys to kill me because I refused to give her the pendant that I got from Ocean View Hotel. Not entirely sure that's true. So let's see if I can get through this. Also, cool reveal about to happen. Get ready. What's up with you?
To think anyone would risk their life for this filthy, tainted waste of blood. This will just make it easier to kill both of you. Help! Save me and I'll help you find Bertram. I swear! Shut up, Jeanette! I warned you to stay away from Tongue. He's turned you against me. I always looked out for you, but you couldn't stand my success. You had to meddle, didn't you? I didn't want it to end like this, but you forced me. You never gave me any credit for anything, Therese. I was the one calling the shots. Bertram was dancing on my leash. How does it feel to know that I beat you?
So, Therese and Jeanette are the same person. Therese seemed like she was like some kind of, I don't know, some other clan, and that Jeanette was the Malkavian, but they were both the Malkavian. Her insanity from the Malkavian clan is multiple personality disorder, dissociative identity disorder, except even more than usual. Like, this is magically reinforced dissociative identity disorder, so let's get to this
I'm about to rid
perfectly.
the night of this deviant, backstabbing whore. Do you realize that despite her condition, she still fornicates with kind, no less? So despicable. So unclean. You're one to talk, dear sister. Or should I say daddy's little girl? Do you want to know just how depraved the Baron of Santa Monica can be? Shut up, Jeanette. You'd love the world to think you're a saint. When you thought I was asleep, I used to hear Father come in at night. I heard him whisper how much he loved you in your ear before he... Don't finish that sentence, or you're dead.
So, you've played... Oh, look at these facial expressions going through. You ever played No More Heroes? There's a sequence where a character tells you, like, all of her abuse and backstory, and it's fast-forwarded, so all you can see is Travis Touchdown reacting to what's being said, and he's making these crazy faces. If you slow it down, she actually is, like, explaining all this, like, sexual abuse and stuff, and his crazy expressions are totally valid. Anyway, so you can take sides here. What I've been doing is I've been trying to, with my responses and my actions, been trying to keep both of them on my side. I've been kind of neutral to them. Do something from one side, do something for the other side, because I want them to work it out and find peace. You also need a bunch of persuasion skill
Hear what happened? How she became the pillar of the community she is today.
to convince them.
Just shut up! Don't try and stop me. I've had to overlook her treachery, her
And
seduction,
if you take Jeanette's side and tell her to continue, she tells you even more horrible things that
dear sister,
their father
everything you could to smother
did
me.
to Jeanette
You love to bury me
in terms
the
of
closet,
sexual
along
abuse.
with all your other skeletons. I'm the good girl. You're the wicked one. You've done nothing but plot against me when I had our best interests at heart. And despite that, I've always covered up your mistakes. I've taken care of you. And this is how you repay me? Taken care of me. You've done nothing but keep me down, blame me for every mistake. Did you expect me to let you rule my life until the end of time? No, sister. You've had it coming since our last sunrise. Is that right, dear? If it wasn't for me, you would have never survived this long. Remember? They tried to separate us, but I refused. I chose this life, and brought you into it so that we could stay together. Obviously, you've forgotten.
So, they've been together since they were children. And Jeanette remembers things that happened to Therese, so that, she had this dissociative identity disorder before she was a vampire. And here, this line, they tried to separate us. She must have been in some kind of mental institution, and they, medicated her or something, and that did away with the second personality. And then earlier there was a line where she says, well, I did sire her after all, which makes it seem like, which was like the first hint that Therese was also a Malkavian, because you have to, the clan heritage is passed down by the siring vampire to the child, and I think that's child with a Y, so it's super gothic. Anyway, so yeah, they've actually been together since they were children, and that painting on the wall is it has to be a painting, it can't be a photograph, because they've always been in the same body, so that's like artistic like an artistic inspiration of what the two would look like. Anyway, so let's continue to convince.
She's a control freak. People, things, emotions. If she can't control something, she gets rid of it. And you're a wild animal. You'll rub up against anything that'll take you in for the night. Then when you're stuffed and bored, you bite the hand that fed you.
So, another thing is victims of sexual abuse also tend to develop hypersexuality, which seems to be what happened to Jeanette because of the abuse of their father on Therese. She's like, ew, disgusted by sex, you don't want anything to do with it. But then Jeanette is like, oh yeah, let's do everything. Anyway, that's the nicest way I could say that. Don't take sides here.
I don't think that's possible. How could I ever think to trust her again? Trust me? Who could trust you after what happened with Father Dearest?
Oh, here's another thing.
I was a good girl. I always did what I was told. You always hated that he loved me. You disobeyed him. You brought men home when he wasn't there. You were an awful daughter to him.
Okay, so you get different dialogue depending on whose side you choose here. I will let this play out and then explain what the other side says. I might actually show you. I do have a save game that I've been making for this purpose.
Father came home drunk one day and mistook me for Therese.
So that's Janet's side of the story.
Don't listen to her. She's lying. Therese walked in while he was there, and she saw me lying with him, and so she went to the closet and pulled out his hunting shotgun, loaded it with deer shot, and blew his mind out all over the silly clown wallpaper. That's a lie. Father killed himself because of Jeanette. She made him miserable.
Oh, you actually get both sides.
He died with a smile on his face.
Cool. You get both sides of the story if you've convinced. If you haven't taken sides so far. If you ask Jeanette to continue, she says that Therese killed him. And if you ask Therese to tell the story, she says that their father killed himself. So I kind of got both sides by taking no sides there. That's pretty cool. Mystery Shadow need not fall on you both.
How will this time be any different?
Oh no. I don't remember what line I'm supposed to press here. Oh, 4 is bad. 3 is more... It seems to be more appealing to... Let's go with it. Let's go with 3. Oh no.
Therese doesn't like to share. Jeanette's irresponsible. She's undependable. A venture like mine requires class and distinction, which is something a pigtailed face-painting harlot does not lend very well. You do have a way with words, sister. You're right. I'm not in the same class, am I? I mean, Murderers are so respectful these days.
Oh no. I don't know if I've done this correctly. I might get neither. That would suck.
But I only do it for attention and out of love. You do it because you're vindictive and jealous, and you deserve it. More responsibility, so that she can ruin every opportunity.
I don't think I've done this correctly.
You're the only one who can secure zoning permits and shake hands. I'd never be able to keep up.
Oh,
If she would stop treating me like a child,
maybe I've done it correctly.
she would start behaving like a rational adult. Yes, there was a time. When I was a child, I didn't have many friends. I suppose Jeanette was the only one. We never did get to go out of the house much. Father wouldn't allow us. He said we'd get hurt, so we stayed inside and we imagined our own worlds. And we spent so much time there together, ruling over those places. Those were happier times, before we grew apart. I never did. No, I guess I don't.
I think I did it, actually.
Jeanette, if I were to offer you equal control in Santa Monica, would you quit consorting with Tongue? I'll stop working against you with him. But since I've got him in my pocket already, there's no reason for me not to pay him a little visit once in a while, when he can be of use. That's not a bad plan. There's just one more thing. I want to be in charge of Santa Monica, but only publicly. I want you to continue to convince others that our relations are strained. That way, we know who our enemies are. I agree. Take it. I'd hate to
Hey, I did it.
what almost transpired. I suppose now that Jeanette and I have settled our differences, I'll call off the feud with Tongue. Bertram's hiding in an empty oil tank at the old gas station. I'll tell him to expect a visitor, and I'll ask him to be extra nice.
We share the same sweet madness, Downers of Janus. Farewell.
Please give Santa Monica's regards to the prince, and keep your tongue tied about what happened tonight, or we'll have to kill you.
So now her name has changed to Tourrette, and she is now both sisters in one. They did not destroy each other in any way. Is that not a cool sequence? Is that not a cool reveal? You know, they've been so different, and you've never seen them together, so it's totally doable that they do that. When I first played this, I was so shocked that they had got me so good. Like, I didn't get it until I saw Therese stand there with the gun and turn around. She has the pigtail on one side of her head, and I'm like, what? So that's Tourette, the Tourette Incident, and I think that is super awesome that you can get them both. If you take Jeanette's side more and let her destroy Therese, you can have sex with Jeanette as a vampire, and you get slightly less XP, and you get, you know, you don't get like a sexy cutscene or anything. It's just like black screen, and you lose a tiny bit of blood, which is fitting with Vampire the Masquerade lore, that you can simulate sex things, but it uses blood. So that's pretty gross. But it is true, I guess. I think I've done everything there is to do in Santa Monica. Oh, I do have to go back to tell Knox, and then I have to get my money out of my apartment before we leave. So, I'm at full blood. I have pretty much everything I'm going to get. So I will just do this. And maybe I have made a secondary character that I can show off the taking Jeanette's side and letting her destroy Therese. I think you get slightly different dialogue. If you take her side more, she gives you a different side of the story than Therese does. Hey, $150. I knew I got rewarded for that. I think we got sort of both of theirs by taking those sides and being very persuasive about it. And you absolutely need 4 persuasion or you can't talk them down. What else do I need to do? Oh yeah, Knox at the asylum. Let's listen to this music clip one more time. Then we'll finally go see who Bertram Tongue is. There are those really strange camera movements in this game. I don't understand what's going on there. It may be a bug. Among many of the other bugs. Hey, Knox.
Yo, girl, you hear that thing yet?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God! Oh, man! Yeah! That thing was hounding me like every night. Look, still haven't heard anything from Bertram. Sorry, okay? Still let him know, but for now, I have no way to repay you.
I got XP, so it's fine. I think I'll tell him this.
Seven's like a vampire, but different, you know? It's like what they have in China instead of vampires. You see lots of people coming to California for some reason. I don't know.
Okay. That's that quest finished off. You also may have noticed that these last couple of quests have really been dumping the XP on me. That's because this next part is... I think you can sort of stealth it, but it's mostly a combat encounter. So they want you to be super ready for it. I've done everything, I think. One more last check. I have 9 XP I could spend. For some reason, Bloody Mess is not actually completed yet. Okay. I did buy the next level of Dementation. Yeah, this is one that can kill humans instantly. Should do this. Probably. Okay. Don't need that. Intimidation, don't need that, it's very useless. Let's do Brawl, since that will help me grab humans during fights. I've also been told that you don't actually need to sneak up on people, but I'm pretty sure if your Brawl skill is, like, completely minimized, that being able to sneak up on things guarantees that you successfully feed on them. Anyway, this is what Bertram Tongue looks like.
The one and only. Don't bother with the introductions, fledgling. I know who you are. News travels down the kindred grapevine like wildfire, and that courtroom spat between LaCroix and Nines Rodriguez is a juicy little morsel, and you in the middle. How interesting.
So, you know, Nosferatu, they can never pass in human society because they look like this.
I've been watching the place. The Sabbat has a bunch of low-life humans working day and night to move stuff through there. There's some major staging going on. As far as I can tell,
humans only.
the humans seem to know the score from the way they've been talking. I think most of them have aspirations of joining the next graduating class of shovelheads. Ugh, losers. Yeah, the Sabbat like everyone to know just who they're dealing with. So if you get in there and have to bust a few heads, don't feel bad. Think of it as upholding the Masquerade.
Telling me it's a combat zone.
Yes, I can. Just tell me when you're ready, and we'll leave. Once you're there, however, you're on your own. You'll have to get into the place and plant the explosives in the middle office to take the whole structure down. Alright, I guess. Come back when you're ready to go. But don't be too long, fledgling. This isn't really something we planned around your schedule.
So, what I'm going to do real quick is do a save, make sure I have everything I need. Let's save on this part. And I will show off how to get in bed with Jeanette. So this character is a female Bruja because I like Bruja. I think they're very cool. And also they are spec'd very well for melee abilities, which my Malkavian is not. So here's this sequence again.
Anyone would risk it. Help! Shut up! You never gave me.
Let's take Jeanette's side. Let's call for her every time.
I promise you, if you help me out of this, I'll make sure you find Bertram. I swear. With Therese out of the way, I can do a lot more than just that for you. Isn't it obvious? I'm about to rid the night of this deep. You're one to talk. Shut up, Jeanette. You'd love the world. Don't finish that sentence, or you're dead.
Okay, so I think here is the different lines you get if you encourage Jeanette to go on.
Away with you. And he didn't have to force you. You went limp and became his plaything. Do you think I didn't hear it? Night after night? Always the obedient daughter until... Shut up. Just shut up!
So you only get that line, of course, if you encourage Jeanette.
Would you like to tell the story? She makes herself out to be the virgin queen of the
And
night.
you get more of her
Eyes
side
the
of
night,
things with
stable
this.
of the Earth's orbit. But it's all an act, isn't it? I'm the good girl. You're the wicked one. Taking care of me. You've done nothing. Is that right, dear? If it wasn't... She's
There.
a control freak. People, things, emotions.
This is the same,
if
though.
she can't control something, she gets rid of it. And you're a wild animal.
So this way, I'm now taking... No. This game, it was Therese that tried to kill me. And maybe I should cut back to a previous save and show you the phone message. The phone call at the diner is slightly different. It's Jeanette locked herself in the bathroom and begging you to come save her because Therese has her locked in there with a gun. And the one we got was Jeanette sent them after her, and sent them after me, and well, whatever.
Therese will never let you live. You disappointed her. I used you, yes, but I didn't try to have you killed. Therese has no problem with killing, do you? Remember Father? Father loved me. I was a good girl.
Let's let Jeanette tell the
Father
story.
came home drunk one day and mistook me for Therese. Because I'd fallen asleep in her bed. Don't listen to her. She's lying. Therese walked in while he was there.
Okay, this is actually the
Saw me
same.
lying. That's a lie. Father killed himself because of Jeanette. She made him miserable. As I recall, he died with a smile on his face. The police sure did. They broke us up for a little while.
Oh,
and then
this here.
first thing you did after your escape was fine.
They broke us up for a little while. They gave her medication.
Sister, is this how it has to end? I admit I always knew this night might come. Well, any message you want me to give Father? An apology? A love letter?
And then she fights with herself. There's a gunshot. And when she stands back up,
I killed her. I didn't want her to go. I only wanted her to change. You understand, don't you? Poor Therese. You wanted to find Bertram. He's at the old gas station in an empty oil tank. He'll help you because I'll ask him to. But you must keep your tongue tied tight about what happened this night. Understand?
and as you can see, you only get 1 XP for that instead of 3.
Don't hesitate to come see me once in a while. I'm going to be so lonely without Therese. I mean, I may need someone like you sometime. And I do get bored so easily. Maybe you could come by and cheer me up sometime.
So this time it doesn't actually teleport us out because her model doesn't need to change, I guess. Let's go out and back in and see if I can now do certain things with her. Oh, I should also point out that I mentioned getting seduction higher if you're a female vampire, because there's more options available to you, but also certain characters like I believe, this blood doll upstairs. I believe you need a higher seduction skill to convince her, because she's, quote-unquote, usually not into girls. So you need to be more seductive to convince certain people as a female than a male. Let's see. Jeanette, are you here? No. No. Alright, well. That's too bad. But I'll leave it to your imagination, or you can pick this game up and find out for yourself. It's not a big deal, really. And I would suggest actually not trying to have sex with Jeanette and just getting your 3 extra experience points because, or 2 extra experience points, because that's way more valuable. Anyway, let's go back to my previous save.